What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Red Devil Circle. I'm happy to have gone to this point of the season, which is the end of the season, which have concluded the 2024-2025 season, a disastrous season, our lowest point tally in the Premier League. And yeah, just happy that it's over with. I know this a lot of people, including the manager, they're even during his speech, you could tell that he's happy that it's over. Time to just, you know, kind of sweep this one under the locker and see if there are better things ahead for him. And I totally back this manager. Obviously, I'm not going to be completely sentimental about the whole the storm is over and then with the rainbow showing up, making an appearance at Old Trafford against Villa yesterday. I mean, it just if things happen to work out in the future, we could look back at that moment and be sentimental about it. But for now, there's nothing really giving us any excitement or hope for the future. But it comes down to the management. It comes down to the board. Everything comes down to the people behind us. They have to make the right signings together with the manager. They have to make the right decisions. They have to pull the right plug. They have to push on the right buttons. Every signing we make, is looking like we don't have a lot of money to make a lot of signings, even though we have many crucial positions that needs reinforcement. I mean, if you look at the wing back, it's it's just Dogo there all the time, and we're putting a lot of minutes on that young guy's legs, and he needs rest. He needs rotation, and that's just one. And mind you, the wing back position, is a very important position in this manager's system. So that's one position we need to be looking at very well. Um, but yeah, for this end of the season review, I'm going to just talk about the players, the injury concerns, and what we can possibly look to go get to help revive the squad. Um, that's the only thing we can do. Just hope that we're better as a team on the pitch. Whatever's going on behind closed doors, whatever's going on with the board, we can't fix that. We can only do so much as fans. Obviously, the protests are not very consistent to make a huge impact, but we could focus on how we can try to help the squad. And our fan base is one of the most toxic fan base, obviously, probably because of how massive it is and just how many the media attention, just people having different opinions and fighting each other about it. That that creates a lot of pull and push. It's it's very hard right now as a United fan, and with our board not being very well, put together, very well structured, with the infrastructure being shit, and everything behind closed doors just being shit, firing, um, we're firing employees just to save some money. Well, everything being so bad behind closed doors. That also translates to the pitch. So a lot of these players, their minds are clouded, and that's what we don't need right now. You see how well they can play the Amarim system when they're not under pressure. So that's one thing to be concerned about because it looks like every player we sign comes to United and falls under the pressure because everything just rubs off on them. The Everything that's going bad with the club behind the scenes kind of rubs off on them. but we need players with strong mentality that's gonna rub off on how we play football, that's gonna rub off on the culture, that's gonna bring the right culture, is gonna build the right culture in the team, and that's what Amarim is working on. That was the first thing he said. He was gonna work on the culture of the club, of the team. So you gotta bring players with a strong mentality. Look at their family history. You do a deep dive into the players, their patterns, their focus. You got I don't know how the scouts work, but you got to do a lot more than talent, and we have to look at the mentality of the player, how the player grew up, the things that shape the player, and that's what's going to be important. And we have a lot of young stars now. We also need experience in there. We need some experience in there, and I'm just gonna go straight into it. So we have Evans, Johnny Evans, Lindelof, and Ericsson leaving the club. So straight away, you need reinforcement in the defensive position. But I'll tell you why it's not the most important right now, just because of the system we're playing in right now. But with Evans and Lindelof gone, you might want to bring in one defender or so into the team because we don't really have a lot of backup. I mean, Fredrickson is still a very young player who's played only a handful of games in the season when we had zero bench and um, we had zero first team bench and he just happened to be called up. So and he looks like a decent player, but it was a big step for him. So we still need um, we still need another defender. And look at how injury prone Martinez is. Ever since Anthony Martial, I mean, the way people just fell for Martial, just waiting for the next season for him to not be injured. Like, just study the patterns. Don't be a fool. Like, there's this saying, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I mean, if it's made of paper, it's made of paper. Like, you can't change that. You just have to. I just don't get it why fans can fall into the same patterns and it just leaves you disappointed. This player is injury prone. Lisandro Martinez is very unlikely to be fit for a whole season. There's one. Mason Mount is another one. I mean, you can't keep falling for the same shit every time. So we got Mason Mount very injury prone. We got Lisandro Martinez who's a defender, which we're on about. I've strayed a bit on the discussion board, but yeah. Um, from the defenders that we have, Fredrickson, we have Aiden Heaven right there, which is another young star. Maguire is one with experience and elite. Um, Sherway Martinez very injury prone. If you're talking about the starting 11, you probably want to see Aiden Heaven there alongside Delete and Martinez, but Martinez is very injury prone. So you probably want to have Maguire in the middle and Delete on the right, Heaven on the left. Um, we don't know how soon um Delete can be back fit. Sorry, Martinez can be back fit playing. I don't assume he's gonna be on the. He's gonna be recovered in time to be on the tour. So he's missing a lot of improvements he would have made to his game in terms of better understanding the way Amarin wants to play. So that's a cause for concern. But his ball playing style is such that you can at least expect him to learn the system quickly. He's just a player that's not fit very often. So that's a problem right there straight away. So Next, we're gonna look at the goalkeeper because people tend to overlook this, but the goalkeeper is something. It's a very serious position, and at the moment, we're making too many mistakes. So we just need to go get a player that it's going to stop us from conceding a lot of goals. So straight away there, that's two players you need to bring in. Um, Hopefully the goalie will be such that a scout would have done a very good job to go get something that's not going to cost a lot of money, but it's going to give us assurance back there. It's not a position that you can see that you find it hard to scout someone that's just going to just keep the ball away from the goal, like just do the basics of a goalkeeper. Um, we don't need a ball carrying goalkeeper, so just go out there and get something that's gonna give us assurance back there. That's just gonna do the basic job of a goalkeeper, and that's it. That's all we're asking for. Um, we'll see if they do that. If Onana leaves, that'll be great. If this Saudi links concrete, because he's been linked to the Saudi clubs. If that happens, that'll be great for us. That'll give us some money to spend somewhere else. But we definitely still need to bring in a goalie. It's been a huge problem. He's cost us way too much points on basic stuff. So that's another thing we need to get into the club. So if you bring the one defender, one goalie right there, and we also definitely need a forward. It looks like we need a forward, especially with Garnacho leaving. We and I say that in terms of obviously we have Zexi and Holland are forwards, but I'm talking about for for the number tens, right? Garnacho has been playing that, um, but we're being linked to a player like Mbuemo, which I think would be very good for us because he's proven in the Premier League, has the GA to back it up, so it won't be apart from the pressure of playing for Manchester United. It's not going to be anything serious. It's not going to be a serious change for Mbuemo. That's what I'm trying to say. And with a fresh start of a season and just trying to block out the noise from the media, he could just get the ground running. It's nothing as such as oh, we don't know how he's going to play in the Premier League because we already know he's a proven player. So yeah, if Garnacho's going to leave, we need to fix that. And that's sad to see a youngster go, but the most sad thing about it is like Garnacho has grown as a player um, under under Ruben Amorim. He's making better decisions. He drives in, plays a split pass backwards towards the danger zone. He's getting better as a player. His decision making is getting better as well. He's not looking to just cut in and shoot all the time. And he's always dangerous going forward. So yeah, it's just one of those that is gonna leave. It's gonna be hard for us to see him go, but obviously our fans has been a bit toxic to him. I'm not gonna lie, and I think that's not right. Just the mindset of fans and just being so impatient, especially with the manager having been given the tools that he needs for the job. Yeah, it's it's good to assess the team in a sensible way. You can't say after 6 months sack the manager. I mean, he's barely had time. He's not had a transfer window really, so we need to give him a chance to build a squad. Um, and that brings me back to Garnacho. It does not look like as disappointing as it is to me. It doesn't look like he quite fits the Amorim system. So if we're bringing in Mbuemo, That would be a good squad for him to have, or a good addition to the squad. So it's very important for us to bring a forward if we're gonna let Garnacho go. Obviously, Rashford. There's news that we're gonna sell him for 40 million, and that's coming out from credible sources. We're not, sorry, we're not going to sell him, but his set price is 40 million. So that's the asking price from Manchester United for Rashford. I mean, who's gonna come out to pay 40 million for Rashford after his spell at Villa, which I don't think is the best anyway. I mean, we'll do well to get 30 million for him, but 40 million is a fair price. But yeah, that it's very hard to see a lot of clubs coming out to show money for Rashford at that price, and I don't think he's gonna want to go to Saudi. So there lies another problem. Barcelona for sure is not going to drop 40 million for Rashford. I don't see it. Yeah, but there are two very important positions we need, and to we need backups as well as starters in this position, and that's the wing back and definitely the striker position, because these are the most important positions in the Amarim system. So we have Dogu playing almost all the minutes, and Dalo can be very inconsistent. So we need two wing backs there. Obviously, we can if we can afford to get two wing backs because we have so many positions to cover, maybe get one. Um, and just because Dogu plays a lot of minutes, he needs rest. He needs he needs rest. He needs rotation, and we can't just have him playing all the minutes all the time. I mean, he played so well against Villa, but you could tell us at some point that getting close to 80 minutes, he was getting tired a little bit there. So he needs rest. He needs rotation. He's a young star. You need to. We can't do what we did to Rooney to Dogu, especially at this point where we're even struggling in the Premier League. So we need rotation players. So we need two more wing backs in that position. One that can do the job very well attacking wise. And Mazraoui also is not he doesn't seem to. I mean, we've overplayed Mazraoui, so it's not very fair for me to say he can't stay fit for a very long time. But yeah, we need to rotate. It would be good to get a wing back that's very good at the job, and also get another backup wing back as well to help rotate the squad. Another position we definitely need, which is the striker. I'm just gonna say we need a proven striker, and then we need another backup striker. It's a very important position in the Armory system. The striker has to be able to link up play and be a goal threat, and he has to have a strong mentality. So we need one with experience, and then we need another one who's gonna be backup, but is still a threat and can still offer so much going forward, and also has a strong mentality. And why I'm focusing on mentality is because having a strong mentality as a striker is unlike any other position. For one, mostly because scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in a soccer game or in a football game, however you want to say it. Goals are the hardest thing to do. And no matter what's going on behind the club, we need a strong mentality player like a Roy Keane, someone who's just obsessed to a fault on getting that ball back in the net. Doesn't have to be a full trigger strike. It doesn't matter if it's tap-ins. He just needs to know how to get the ball in the net, how to make the right runs and be in the right areas. And Hoyland does not fit that bill one bit. He could be there to be a backup if we plan to sell Zexi, because we already have a lot of number 10s. If Cunha is going to come in, we have Ahmad, we have Mason Mount, we have Mainu, which is a question mark on the number 10, because he's not really been doing his job very well. As you can tell, everything going on behind the scenes. If rubbing off on him, the only consistent player which we're letting go right now has been Garnacho. He's been the only one who's shown up consistently when others have been injured. And that's the reason why I said it's disappointing, because he's made a lot of improvements. It still looks like he might not fit the system completely, but he improved, and he's always a threat, and he could offer us something going forward. But now he's living on bad terms, which leaves a sour taste. And he's been the only one that shows up consistently, and we play him ahead of Mount in that final. Was wasn't a very good decision, but maybe a blessing in disguise for um for Amarim, because he does not completely fit the system. So we go out there. If we're getting a guy like Mbuemo, he could come in and be um be very good in pressure, in terms of pressing. He can be good in pressing the ball, and he can also offer us goals and assists where we lack creativity. Having him alongside Cunha and Bruno, if Bruno is going to sit as an eight, play alongside Casemiro, however we want to do that, it's just good to have options for Amarim. So we definitely need to fix that. Luke Shaw, he didn't. I think he didn't travel with the squad. I don't know what's going on there, but he's just one of those players like Martial I've been over with a long time ago. I mean, I don't understand why fans keep giving players like this a chance. You just gotta know. You just gotta know, like, they're not gonna stay fit for long enough to offer you anything reasonable in the season and towards your goals for the season. So just count him as a non-existent there. So if we're gonna sell him, that's perfect for me. I don't even want to dwell on Luke Shaw that much. But yeah. Moving on. I think we're gonna keep Casemiro, and I can see why. We don't have a lot of options with Ericsson leaving, and we also need we're at a Casemiro probably one of would have been one of the people on the list to leave. I think he still is on the list, but we don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of financial support, which goes back to the boy again. But Amarim has figured a way to play him to suit his system. You can see Casemiro getting forward and still being able to play effectively in a double pivot with Bruno. So we're getting a tune out of him, but it's not going to be consistent throughout the season. So we also need another midfielder. Um, we need a deep line midfielder to um to be able to take that role and maybe play alongside Ugarte, and maybe sometimes we can rest Bruno. So that would be the ideal situation. So almost like eight players we need to take care of, eight positions we need to take care of there. Um, I've talked about the forward. If we're gonna have, we can't have Zexi and Hoyland. One of them has to go, and we need to get two strikers in for sure. So um, in terms of getting good value for your money, or a good, yeah, in terms of getting so look at it like this: we have Harland and Xerxes, right? But Harland has been shit this season, so who are you gonna get the best money out of? Who's the player with the most value? And that's gonna be Xerxes. I don't want to sell. I'd rather keep Xerxes, but um, we need signings, and Zexy is not quite a goal threat. I mean, I bet you Ahmad is a better ball has better ball heading ability than Zexy, and it's not even about the ball heading ability. He's just not really a goal threat. The way he strikes the ball is not pure. It's not pure for a striker, and yeah, he's just does he's not nowhere to be found for the tap ins or the wrong. Sorry, I was saying there before I cut off. Xerxes is a player who offers the link up play, but he's not much of a presence as a striker. So we need a striker with experience and proven striker, and then we need a backup who's just gonna offer the threat of being a striker who could offer something different, but also be able to play in the system, be a constant threat, be available in the box, has the aerial presence. Both our striker signings need to fit the bill perfectly, and both our wing back signings, if we get those done, which we have to, they have to they have to be able to play very well as the wing backs. They have to be able to press. They have to be also be able to be press resistant. They have to be able to be good going forward and offering good crosses, as you see Dogu do, getting the ball in early, linking up very well with the midfield and the striking positions. Um, and also they have to have the tank. They have to be able to run tirelessly, which is one of the hardest positions to do in soccer, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, we need that definitely, and we're looking at Liverpool, who just won the league, and they're doing the kind of signings that we ought to be doing with Frimpong and Zakerkers. That's what we needed to have been doing to try to make up for um the drastic contrast in the league table. Look how far we're falling. So we need to get those players. We need to get it right, and these are the 8 positions, in my opinion, that we need to fix to at least get us on a good standing to help Amorim start properly start his project, and just see how we can improve things in terms of playing football, because behind the scenes we can't really fix much of that, but we can try to fix how we're playing, and we still need backing from the board. So there's new talks coming out about 100 million that's going to be available in the transfer budget for Amarim. It doesn't seem like a lot, but with the option to pay installments, we can obviously chop it down to fit into different signings, which helps us, but still increases the problems behind the scenes. Because guess what? We still owe 300 million in transfer fees, um, and that's aside the billions of dollar debt we're in. We still owe transfer fees, and this is only the signings we're gonna make. The additions we're gonna have is just only gonna add to is only gonna add to a debt. So that 300 million is gonna go up. So that's not really what matters right now. We just need to see what outgoings we're gonna make and make some money available to make the changes we need, because we need to back this manager. So there we go. That's my season review. Thank you guys for being so patient. I've not been consistent on here, but don't worry, we're back in it. Well, I'm gonna be uploading more videos. I'm gonna be following the tour to see how we're improving as a team and how this manager we are backing. Please, I beg you guys, back this manager. give him time, and if he's given the tools, um, he talks the talk, and I strongly believe he's gonna walk the walk. And if he's given the right tools, if the right buttons are being pushed, if the right signings are being made, um, it could be a drastic change from 17th. No, we didn't finish 17th. We finished 15th, guys. Sorry, that was Spurs. We're not Spurs here, guys. Come on now. We're bigger than that. 15th position, bro. Come on. Put some respect on our name. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully, only gets better from here. It can't get any worse, right? So, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.